So chapter 21 is the lymphatic system and the immune system because they're both directly related. So the lymphatic system is the system that takes extra fluid from the capillary beds and gets it back into the circulatory system. So if we're looking at this, so I have a little heart right here, okay, and the heart has vessels that exit the heart through the aorta, and they go through the systemic circulation to capillary beds. The wonkiest red, not a good red. And those capillary beds go in there and they feed the tissues. So we have our little tissues here. So the blood comes out, or the fluid comes out. We've got diffusion of gases and all of that. And fluid is also coming out just into the interstitial space, and it's picked up by tissues and then out there. We know we have, the hydrostatic pressure that pushes out, the osmotic pressure, the colloid osmotic pressure that brings it back in, but we have that 3 liters left over. So in the circulatory system, we're done here in the capillary bed and we head on back to the heart. So this 3 liters that's left, 3 liters of fluid, has to be handled. So it can't just stay there or we would, drown, I guess. Okay, so we have little, capillaries called lymphatics, and they take on that fluid. It enters the lymph capillary as lymph. Here's a lymphatic vessel. And it heads on back towards the heart, and it dumps into the vena cava or something. Okay, just that low pressure, last vessel, and then it goes into the heart there. So again, the circulatory system is a circle. It enters the heart, goes in, goes to the capillary beds, exits, comes back around and back to the heart. Lymphatics don't do that. They start at the capillary beds and they end up here towards the heart. There's not a circular situation they're going. Lymphatic vessels, these are the most permeable. These are called lymphatic capillaries. And these are the smallest and most permeable vessels. All right, so the body uses these vessels to drain the excess fluid. We just said that, and it heads back towards the heart there. It connects with the blood vessels up here through 2 structures, the thoracic duct and the right lymphatic duct, depending on what part of the body it's coming from, up in here. So what does the lymphatic system do? So functions. Well, it does a couple of things. I said it 100 times now, but returns excess fluid to the heart. It helps molecules so fats actually, so large molecules enter the blood. So when we absorb fats, they go into the lymphatic system first before they go into the blood. The lymphatic system provides a place for immune surveillance. It's a fancy word. Did I even spell that right? Who knows? Surveillance. So immune surveillance, a place where immune system cells like lymphocytes can hang out and look for pathogens. The lymphatic system and lymphatic capillaries can transport things like pathogens, antigens, same thing basically, dendritic cells, from tissue to lymph node. Because lymph nodes are where, immune system cells are going to hang out. Okay, that's a good place for them to hang out and find their pathogen or antigen. All right, so that's an overview of basically how the lymphatic system works. There are other parts to it that you need to go through. Make sure you know what like MALT is. Mucosal associated lymphatic tissue, that's tissue that's in like the ileum, so Peyer's patches in the ileum, the tonsils, things like that. There's different places where we have a lymphoid tissue, and the lymphoid tissue is just there to help basically the immune system. Okay, so make sure you read about tonsils, read about Peyer's patches, make sure you know what those things are, go through lymph nodes, the spleen, make sure you know what happens in the spleen, and that's about all we're going to say about the lymphatic system. Okay, so I'll mention things, we'll refer back to it because it is an important part of the immune system. So next video, I'm going to start the immune system.